all, it's April, and we are coming at you today to talk about Chapter 11 in Be a Direct Selling Superstar. So we are headed into the second half of our Director in 20 Weeks program. And can you see? I'm like, sorry. And first of all, I have to say that I absolutely love the horseback riding reference in this chapter. As you all may or may not know, I'm a horse girl. This chapter is titled Be a Strategic Mentor, and the quote that starts it out is, "Give your attention to those who deserve it, not those who demand it." Being a strategic mentor is something that as your team grows, you're really going to have to spend time thinking about. You only have a certain amount of time to work with people. So, for instance, my group has 131 members. There's no possible way that I have time to give 131 people, well, I guess it would be 130 since one counts myself. There's no possible way that I have time to give 130 people my undivided attention. So you have to have some way of figuring out who to spend the most time with. And one trap that you want to be very careful not to get into is sometimes the people that make the most noise and seem like they need the most of your time and need the most help, they make a lot of empty promises and don't follow through on their end. So they want a lot from you but aren't giving a lot back in return. So there was one thing that Mary talked about in the book that really stood out to me, and I'm just going to read it. It says, "You reinforce those principles when you teach your children board games. You explain the game and then take turns to move. They make a move, you make a move, and it's their turn again. The only way they'll master the game is to play the game. In the same way, instead of thinking that the more you do for your team members, the better chance they will have, take the same your move, my move, your move approach to mentoring." I thought this was genius. So, for example, when you first start out, I always give everybody a good, solid 30 days. They're new, they're going to have a ton of questions. Obviously, you'll make sure that they have all the information that they need. Make sure that you tell them what a great resource their new consultant hand startup guide is going to be for them. Some people will read it, some people won't. One of the things I do is if they have a question, instead of just answering that question for them, which might be the easiest, fastest thing for you to do, it's not teaching them much in the area of finding their own information. So you just let them know, oh, you can find that in the startup guide on such and such page, or check out the resource that I sent you that I emailed to you yesterday. That way they can go find the information. I also always tell my newest team members to ask, I encourage them to ask questions on our team page, because that way when they ask the question, then everybody else sees it. So if there's other new people or even people that have been around a while that have that same question, it answers it for more than just one person. And with 131 of us, we all can use resources like that. So sometimes the people who are the loudest and need your attention all the time, if they're not doing the work and they're not helping themselves out, then you're really spending a lot of time wasted in that area. So I'm definitely going to try to use the your move, my move tactic from now on with some of my team members. Work with your top performers. Obviously, as people learn and grow in the business, you'll see who your top performers are every month. So whether it be top in sales, top in recruiting, top interacting, it doesn't really matter. If somebody has, $5 in sales or $5,000 in sales, if they come to me and they show me that they are motivated to build their business and that they're willing to put the work in, and they are telling me, I'm contacting people, they're going to be a top performer. It's going to eventually catch up with them. So the ones that are giving you their time and energy, those are the ones that you want to spend time and energy on. All goals are great, big goals, small goals, everything in between, but I let people know up front when I have a conversation with them when they first start out on what their goals are. And I let them know, if you have, your goal is just to stay an active consultant so that you can get, free shipping for you and some friends, that's a great goal to have. But I make sure that they know they're not going to be getting, a weekly phone call from me going over tips and things, because they don't need that. It's the ones who say, I want to be a director, I want to build a team. They're going to be the ones that have more of my time. Now, sometimes there are people who say, oh yeah, I want to be a director, but then they don't ever go anywhere with it. They don't ever do anything. So the your move, my move is going to be where that comes into play also. So for example, our group, our Director in 20 group, you guys are top performers. You guys are the ones that come to me and say, I want to do this. You guys are the ones following along with the chapters. You guys are the ones with the highest sales every month, with building your teams. So let's see if there's anything else in here that I'm forgetting to do. Okay, I think that pretty much covers the whole chapter. The one other thing I wanted to touch on real quick is in the beginning of the chapter, and it talks about just as a bird teaches its young to fly by nudging them out of the nest, it's never too soon to start steering new team members toward independence. That's something that our Superstar Director, Amy Darrington, had taught me at an early point in my journey. And so you guys will notice that something I do is as soon as you have a team of 5, I have you start your own team page. And what that allows you to do is it starts having your team identify you as their team leader, and it lets you get your feet wet and start acting as their director, no matter what your rank is. So ideally what that means is when you do make director, you're already comfortable in your role. You've already been running your team page. It's not some, oh my gosh, I'm getting kicked out of the nest. Scary feeling. It's exciting. You've already been working up to it at that point. So that's something I want you guys to think about with your team as they grow. Some of you already have your team pages set up and have larger teams. Some of you are still working on building up to that 5 team members that it takes to have your own team page. But for us, it's worked great so far. And there was another part at the end of the chapter that says, by teaching your team members to function independently, you'll equip them to pass along their skills and expertise to their own team members. Your example will be compounded many times over as it filters all the way down through your organization. I'm just starting to see the early stages of this. So it's taken me a couple years to kind of get to that point and to grow our group to that point. But it is amazing. The things that work that I've learned from Amy that have worked for her are some things that I hope to pass down that can work for you guys also. And learn from you guys. I pick up bits and pieces all the time. I'm learning more than you know just from the things that you all are sharing in our group page. So this week's challenge is I want you all to post on our Director in 20 team page I'm trying to think of something. There wasn't really like a great challenge that like popped out in my head. I just do this as we go. I'm doing it right along with you guys. Let's just start a discussion on what it means to you to be a strategic mentor. What are some strategies that you want to utilize as you're growing your team and working your way towards director? So post that this week, and next week is week 12. And chapter 12 is embrace a wide range of personalities. So I will see you all in a week, and don't forget to post what being a strategic mentor means to you and what strategies you're going to use as you're growing your team towards becoming a director team. All right. Thanks for checking in, and I will see y'all next week.